Hello. Hey, everybody. It's Thursday night. Facebook Live. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you all. I'm just getting settled into my space here, my little library. If you've not visited with me before, this is where I hang out Thursday nights. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Facebook. Great to be here with you. I'm Gina. What's your name? Tell me your name, who you are, where you're from, what's happening in your neck of the woods. It's back to being sunny in Southern California. Thank God. Thank God. Because guys and girls, I do not do well when the sun goes down. Mary Wilson, what's up, girl? And Shay Shay, two of my favorite people, come right up. Isn't that awesome? It's good to see you guys, and I miss the crap out of both of you two in particular. I hate that I don't get to. Hi, Wesley, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, Mama. Right back at you, boo. It's been a long time, and my life has typically been a little up and down and all around. It's like a roller coaster ride right here, and my life is changing big time and big decisions coming and happening. Hi, Marlene, how are you? So I'm just warming up to this with you. Hi, Julie, good to see you again. And let me tell you, it's hard to show up. It's not an easy thing. What's up, Nancy? How are you? Good to see you. And when you make a commitment to follow through with it, lots of people, we have lots of dreams and visions and ideas and things that we want for our life. And the hardest thing is to show up to make it happen. So you can fantasize and have wonderful thoughts and ideas in your head all the time, but if you don't put them into action, they will never happen. You're going to sit on your sofa just wishing and dreaming your life away. Hi, George. Hey, AJ, what's happening? So I just want to tell you that I'm encouraging you. Say hi to each other, send much love. This has been a really fun ride for me. I've lost track of how long I'm doing this. I feel like I'm approaching a year. I'm going to have to go back and check that. I feel like I started last year, maybe not that long, maybe September of last year. What's up, Linda? Good to see you again. And Vicky, awesome. And I keep showing up for it. I keep committing to it. I put it in action, and I don't know what's going to happen from this, but I know you guys are amazing, and you're sending me messages telling me that I've inspired you. You're telling me that I've helped your marriages and that you're feeling better about yourself. That's awesome. I love to hear that. Are you kidding me? There's so many days where I just do not feel well in my own skin that when somebody comes back to me and tell them something I said or did impacted their life, it changes my life. It helps me to want to get up in the morning. See, it looks like it's selfish and self-serving, and maybe it is. Hi, Lynn Adams. Good to see you again. But by being doing for others and being of service for others, you get out of your own head, you guys. It's such a simple thing. If you suffer from depression or anxiety, if you're isolating, if you're lonely, if you're in fear, getting out of yourself, going and doing for someone else, helping a stranger on the street. I'm not kidding you. It can change your life. It can change the way that you live and make you feel purposeful and make you want to get up in the morning. So I want you to think about how you can add in ways in your life to be more of service, because we're living in a time of selfish self-centeredness. It's all about what can I get? What can I do? How quickly can I feel good or feel better about myself? And it's, this consumerism of just taking stuff in and not giving things back out. So that's my little preach for the beginning of the live right now. So I hope that you'll stay on here with me while we talk tonight about, I'm going to complete my talk about accepting failures. I started it last week a little bit, and then on Tuesday a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? You made it. That's awesome. Oh, my little water break. You take one too. Just relax. Just kick back. Enjoy the ride. So I have been thinking about this a lot today, and some of the greatest lessons that you're ever going to learn come from failure. They definitely come from struggling. And when we're failing, we're really struggling. I have only caught your live once. Well, thank you, Tiffany. I'm glad you get to catch it again. When we are struggling and when we fail at something, or we believe that we failed at something, or we've made a mistake, our greatest lessons and our greatest teacher is waiting there for us. See, the hardest thing to learn how to do is to know that you are imperfect, to accept your flaws, your character defects, and your imperfections. So we all have them. Those people that you're looking at and envying and thinking, oh my God, they have the perfect life or the perfect look or the perfect house or the perfect spouse. There's no truth to perfection on this planet Earth that we're all walking on. So I want you to start taking an inventory. If you're measuring yourself up to other people and making those comparisons, or expecting yourself to be perfect and living to this impossible standard, you're going to feel like you're failing all the time. And that's something that you're creating for yourself. Okay. Vicky's saying, Gina, please help. I want to go out with girls tomorrow night. I never do. I am scared to tell my husband. He always gets angry. Very innocent dinner. I need to break out. Any suggestions? Hi, Jody. Hey, you guys. Talking about accepting failures. Let's talk about communication. Send me any questions you want, because I go off topic and I'll keep going right back on and keep talking about it. So I hope you heard what I said, that hardest lesson for us as human is to accept our imperfections and to learn and to know that we're imperfect. Hey, Jody. Hi, Yanni. Good to see you again. So listen, Vicky. Vicky wants to go out with girls and has a fear to tell her husband. You know what? You're living in conflict. If you're in a relationship where you can't tell your spouse that I need some girl time and I need some alone time, tonight my husband invited me to go out with some of his friends, a group of friends that I happen to like. They're his yogi friends. They're all cool, lovely, happy, whatever people. I ain't feeling it. I just am not in a space to want to do that. I want to do the live with you all. And when I'm done, I want to be done and just kick back and put my feet up, right? So you have to have that open dialogue, Vicky, with your spouse. If you can't say to a partner or a spouse that, hey, I need something so that I can feel good. This is giving something back to myself. And it's what us therapists like to call self-care. So this is taking care of you. If I do good things for me and I fill my spirit up with things that interest me, things that are purposeful, like I said earlier in the live, being of service to others gives me purpose, which makes me happy. That's going to make your partner happy too. So you present to them that I made these plans with friends. I've been needing time with just the girls. We talk about things and do things together and interact with each other in a way that, you know, brings joy and makes me happy. And I just want to spend that time with them. And I'm hoping that you'll be understanding. And I think it's important that we get out of our relationship, that we each do things that interest us, because the more interests you have outside, the more good things you do, the more you have to bring back to the relationship. Does that make sense? Anyone else want to chime in with Vicky? Go ahead, but that's my 2 cents. Hey, Terry, I gave up that word. I call it the P word. It is a terrible thing to live up to. It isn't. Oh, live up to, isn't it? Yeah, I am. Hey, follow along, not doing that anymore. Good for you, Terry. So talking in your relationship, that was for Vicky. Be honest, be authentic. Don't hide things from partners. Speak your truth to them. It is healthy to have other relationships besides your spouse. And it is healthy for you to be able to have dialogue with them. And if they get upset with you because they're scared or they're jealous or they're envious, then you have to talk that through and say, honey, I think you need to build your own network and support and friendships so that you two can have a time and a break away from each other. That's natural and that's normal. And the longer you're married to somebody or in partnership, the longer you might want those breaks. Got to be honest. That's part of the story. Tiffany, I'm still waiting for a husband, just have been burnt all my life. So I do struggle with what you started talking about, life struggles. Okay. Failures, insecurities, self-acceptance of others, and not myself. doing it. Tired of feeling the world is cruel. Huh. I'm such an empath person, have a living soul. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll try to catch up with all the comments. They're coming in fast now. This is where I can't keep up. George, Gina, cuando haces un programa para orientar a los hombres solteros. Okay. George wants me to talk about for single men, to talk to single men. Tiffany is a single mom of 3 boys, raising to be a man. Yes. Amen to that, sister. Vicky, 25 years married, and George, sobre los medios que se tienen. Okay. I don't know, but single guy conversation, got it. In a relationship. Okay. Wow. Back to Tiffany, failures and insecurities. Okay. So sometimes, not sometimes, I always say this to you guys: how you were raised, where you came from, what you were taught as children growing up has a huge, huge impact on the way you think, feel, and behave as an adult. It also has a huge impact on how you relate to other people. So I want you to think about your fear and your concept of the world being cruel to you, Tiffany, and not being able to trust other humans. And how far back does that pattern appear in your life? How far back, if you think to your earliest recollection of when you ever felt like you couldn't trust someone or someone was cruel to you, how far back does that go? How young were you? Because oftentimes that comes from the parental units. It comes from the first 2 people who were supposed to teach us about love, compassion, care, empathy, and trust. And if they violated that in any way, then we learn to walk around feeling very, very sensitive to the world and very much unable to trust other human beings and to feel that they will love and regard us. Our insecurities come from that too. If someone held too high of a standard for you so that you never learned how to accept yourself, you keep raising that bar. What do you do in your life right now where you keep raising the bar, the standard of yourself, so that you don't accept and validate yourself as a good person, as an okay person, as an acceptable person? How are you measuring yourself? And if you had parents, and if you had caregivers, and if you've had loved ones who don't ever validate you, who don't see what you need, what you want, who don't tell you that you're amazing, who don't tell you that you matter. My cousin Myrna's watching. Hi, Mimi. So when you have, thank you, Tiffany, totally understand. Not just me, just the way this generation is going, meaning people in the world are cruel. Absolutely. I totally agree with Tiffany. And saying to you guys that I'm going to go back to this lesson, the cruel people in the world too, they learned that pattern of behavior too, right? And it is unfortunate because we have a lot of it right now. We have a lot of cruelty. We have a lot of impulsivity. We have people acting out of immaturity. Yesterday on the news, talk about a failure, epic fail. Hi, Carderaman. I'm going to get your name right one of these days. Salvacion. I love that. It means salvation. It's amazing to have that in your name. So yesterday I was watching the news and it was a broadcast about parents at a softball game having blows, throwing down on the ground, hitting each other. This was a little kids softball game, which if it's a softball game, from what I remember, that means girls. So primarily little girls playing softball, and the parents were on the seats in the stands waiting, fighting, hitting, throwing blows at each other. Talk about immaturity, talk about impulsivity, talk about trauma. I mean, how are those kids going to process all that, right? And that's a small example, you guys. We see bombings and shootings and mass murders and all this stuff on a daily basis, right? Well, this very small example in my little neck of the woods is these are people who are so insecure, who are so afraid, who feel so poorly about themselves that they're acting out in violence. So I want you to know that your insecurities kept unchecked can cause you to have a lot of resentment. And when you have a lot of resentment in your life, you're always going to be angry at other people. You're going to be envious and jealous. You're going to have a hard time engaging with other people honestly, authentically, and meeting them at their level because you always feel less than. How many of you have ever struggled with these insecurities where your insecurities make you angry? If someone else points out to you that you have a flaw, do you react? Do you get mad? Do you want to throw blows? Maybe you don't throw blows, and thank God, because that's a huge sign of immaturity and impulsivity, and it's violence, right? That's not going to teach anybody anything. It's just going to cause more pain. So let me try to catch up with y'all now. You're coming in hot with all these comments, so I'm loving it. Oh my God, I've seen this. Yeah, isn't it ridiculous, Tiffany? Like parents beating each other up. What the heck? What do you think your children are going to do when they have conflict? You're teaching them not to resolve conflict by communicating and expressing what you need and want and negotiating. That is the cornerstone of healing any relationship, is to know how to negotiate and to speak your truth without being disrespectful. That's another cornerstone. Hi, Karen. Yes, and they threw them out for the season. Thank God. Well, thank God they got thrown out, but still, that's ridiculous. Jody, it's all your husband's insecurity being angry at you for wanting to be with friends. Okay, Jody, that's her advice to Vicky, and gotta say, Vicky, she probably has a point. She definitely has a point. It's awful. Been there, football games with my kids when they were very young. Oh my God. I'll call these failures. These are epic failures. When we can't control our emotions and our feelings as adults and we let it bleed over onto our children and we cause that kind of disrespect and disregard, that's an epic failure. Thank you, Jody. He gets mad, the whole family suffers. Sorry to hear that. Ay, mi prima hermana, Dr. Gina. That's my cousin. Exactly. I'm trying to catch up. Okay. Need to book you. Thanks, Jody. I appreciate it. Okay. I don't know what you're booking. What are you booking, Tiffany? Get back and let me know. So our insecurities, if we grew up feeling less than for whatever reason, you felt like you weren't as smart as your brother or sister, or you weren't as athletic, or every time that you did good, your parents said, but you can do better. You cleaned your room out, but your mom noticed the one little thing you forgot to put away. You got a B plus or an A, and they said, get an A plus or get 4 A pluses or whatever. Every time that you set a standard for yourself and you felt good, someone kept moving that bar. That creates a sense of failure, you guys. And then you carry that expectation through the rest of your life and you measure yourself the same way. You have anxiety around not meeting other people's standards for yourself, whether that's at work or in your personal relationship. How many of you, I'm so tired from talking, I think. It's a job hazard. Talk all day long. Okay, I can feel it that my throat's getting tired. Mi wifi va mal. Hey, George, I'm so sorry your Wi-Fi is going bad. And Karen, I find that the age of 20s and 30s are out of control. Even if they are successful in life, it never seems to be enough. Absolutely. They can have a perfect life and can be beautiful, but still reaching for more and more and more. It seems to be never enough. Vicky's laughing. I don't know if Vicky, that was for the Wi-Fi or Karen or me not being able to talk. So, yes, developmentally at that age, it's much more challenging. But what I'm talking about is us, even as adults. We are in a generation of consumerism and sucking in and immediate gratification, and we want everything now. And we have absolutely lost the art of patience and tolerance. And we need to learn that, but not just for other people, for ourselves. The key to healing a mistake or a failure is to have patience and tolerance with yourself, is to say to yourself, I understand that you're imperfect and you did the best that you could in this situation and we failed. We made a mistake. We weren't able to correct and we failed at that. That's fine. Consider calling those failures mistakes and only calling them mistakes, and it can take some of the weight out of it for you. Tiffany, I'm 41. I have a 23, 17, and 14-year-old. Hashtag struggle is real. That struggle is real. I have a 22 and an 18-year-old. I can totally relate. Don't have that younger one. And that was by the grace of God. I knew to just have 2 children. That's what I could manage. Not being able to talk. Sorry, they don't do that. Hi, Gina. How are you? Hi, Hiwai. Hawaii. I don't know, but I love your name. And I hope you can understand that I'm saying hello to you because I'm not doing a good job of pronouncing that. George is speaking in Spanish again. Gina, quiero hacerte una pregunta. A mí como hombre me gustan las mujeres con unos años más o porque siento a ellas valoran más a la entrega en una relación. George is going off topic. Hi, Julie, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. George is going off right now. He's talking about he's interested in older women because he feels like older women are more mature and they give themselves over. That's not the direct translation, but I think he means they're more accommodating or amenable to a relationship. It's not so much of a struggle. That's what I'm understanding. What do you guys think about that? That's completely off topic. It's a great topic. Pero cuando conozco una mujer un poco mayor, siento las inseguridades en ella por la diferencia de edad. Oh, so it's a good thing, but George is saying it's a bad thing because then he feels the women being insecure because he's younger. And so they feel insecure about him being younger than them. What do you guys think? This is so funny. George always loves to ask me these random things. What do you guys think about that? We're talking about relationship. Our relationship is a great place where we beat ourselves up and feel like we're failing all the time. So, George, this is a lot, but women, they're real deep. Date your age. That is Shay Shay's advice to you, George. Date your age. I'm telling you, some of you, Shay included, are much more mature than their given age, their biological age. And when you have a lot of maturity for your age, you can't relate to people your same age. People your same age seem ridiculous to you because you see their insecurity, because you see their immaturity, and it is not attractive. So George is attractive to women that he's perceiving it are at the same bracket of maturity that he has. Okay. If they're insecure because you're younger, that just may be because of physical appearance sometimes. That may be the biggest reason because other people are going to judge them and call them a cougar. So we get labeled things when we do things outside of the norm. That's another way that we're judgmental and we're critical and we're not accepting of people. You know what? You know who does this best? J-Lo. Y'all have been watching J-Lo date people for years, and she don't care what age range they're in. Truth be told is she's fearless. Just like, hey, if I ever meet J-Lo, hey, J-Lo, I love J-Lo. I'm obsessed with you. It's all good, girl. It's a girl crush. What I'm saying is she's fearless about going after what she wants to go after. And with that level of confidence, right, and security, the age doesn't mean anything. So, George, you choosing women like that, that's great. But if they become insecure because you're younger, then that's not the woman for you, obviously. They either have to get over it or you have to move on. What do y'all think? Because that's, God knows that's mine. Sounding cute meant the way you said the name of the person. Thank you. Tiffany, I'm always worried about being offensive when I pronounce people's names. I'm like, oh my God, do I sound like an idiot or am I being culturally insensitive? It's just because I don't know how to pronounce it. And I'm Cuban, and I've had my husband's Iranian, so I'm familiar with many different names and accents, but I still butcher them. I have multiple men in my family with older women. It's not bad. There you go. It's not bad. Who's to say it's bad? It's not bad. It's not about bad. It's about what works for you and who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you fall in love with? Don't let anybody tell you who's right or wrong for you. Now, I've done that with my friends. Being a therapist, I have said to my very, very dear friends, some of you who are on this live with me, that relationship is not good for you because I see all the red flags, because I see that person's not a good match. And I can see sometimes you are choosing a person from your history. You are choosing what's familiar, like characteristics of a parent or characteristics of your ex. Oftentimes, and I've said this probably on the live, Marry the good parts of your mom and dad, not the worst. But sometimes we keep repeating the worst. And in relationship, that causes a failure. When we keep choosing poorly for ourselves, then we fail at the relationship. We have to see it and have the expectation that this type of person that I keep choosing, this controlling or envious or jealous person, or person who doesn't take care of themselves as much as I do, or doesn't work as hard as I do, that person I keep choosing doesn't work for me. It's not a good fit for me. I need to learn to choose different. What do you think about that? Kadira Aman, yeah, date your age. That's the real challenge of your patience and tolerance. Age and maturity. So they always say that, women mature faster than men. And that is true in our younger years developmentally. And then I think you guys catch up. And for the most part, we all get even. But who's to say what makes a person happy? Let them be happy. And it might be somebody 10, 13, 20 years older. That's a big stretch for me. But if that's what you're attracted to and you and that person love each other and can work it out, then who are we to tell anybody any of that stuff? Not always true. Depends on the maturity, both men and women. And George is going for it. The women of my age, no, I don't like them. I have 44 years and I like women 5 to 6 years mature. I think that's fine, George. Everybody send George some love. Just say, George, you be you, boo. You do what you need to do, boo. You be George. Okay? I understand you always. I appreciate you. Thank you, Hiwi. Tell me though, put it like in text. Do I say hi, why? Do I say Hiwi, like kiwi, like the fruit? Help me out. Help a sister out. I'm so glad you're listening. How much younger? I love it. I'm Italian. I know. You can see because I'm always talking with the hands, the Latin in me. Escuchado sobre los 5 lenguajes en el amor. Debe haber una relación. Okay. Yes, I've heard about the 5 love languages, but I don't know what you're asking me this time, George. I think that's great. Shada. George, keep it up. George, you're getting a lot of love. Okay. So just go with that, George. Take the love and keep going. Hi, why? Like hi-fi, like Wi-Fi, like backwards? Girl, help me out. Okay. So, I went off on a tangent there. Got myself a little hot and bothered, but that's all right. I'm still here with y'all. So, in relationships and failing at relationships, missing the point, choosing the wrong person, your history you should always learn from so that you don't repeat it. And truth be told, even years that you spent in a bad relationship, that was the struggle that you needed to make change in your life. I want you to start forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made in your past, in relationship, at work, in your families, with your kids. If you can come to acceptance and forgiveness with yourself, you're going to get so much further in life. That hanging on to these failures is a way to hold on to resentment, and it's a way to belittle yourself, and that's not healthy. Gina, que es, oh my God, lenguajes lo deben conocer tanto hombres como mujeres y ponerlos en práctica. George wants us all to read the 5 languages of love. It's great. I forget the author's name, which is embarrassing, but I suck at remembering names. So if anybody knows it, put it on here and let me know the author's name of the love languages, the 5 love languages, the languages of love. I'm probably not even getting the book title right, but I'm probably close. Help a sister out. Hi, Claudia. How are you? This is the newest family member of mine joining us here from my cousin, my distant cousin, second cousin's wife. Okay, Tiffany. Okay, answering it. Thank you. The truth. Now, where is the part to the end of the cycle and let go and live the best so you can teach the right morals for your children? I'm still learning and still trying to discover. Do you book sessions individually? No, I don't, Tiffany. Thank you, though, but I'll talk to you about that at the end. Okay, I don't. I'm not trying to get clients. I'm just trying to inspire and give you free advice and suggestions. You don't have to take them. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist only in California. and I'm not treating anybody here. I'm just talking. I'm just inspiring you, talking about subjects that might be of interest to you. Hey, David Lara. Hey, Tom Burnett. What's up? Tommy and Claudia, are you sitting there having coffee, Netflixing, feet up, and listening to me right now? What's up? And my cousin Mimi was on there. Your auntie's on there. Tiffany, you rock, though. Thank you, Tiffany, so much. Nancy, Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages. God bless your heart, Nancy. Y'all write that down. Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages, because apparently George needs all of us to read that so that we can become informed. I read it a long time ago, and I'd love to reread it, okay? Hi, you're in Albany. Fantastic, and my cousin's still here. This is crazy. So we were talking about failures. We got all up into relationships because George is wanting us and needing our support around relationships. And this is what's so great about this is I have this Facebook relationship with you guys now where we can talk and you can throw things out and I'll follow along. And if it goes with the topic, great. And if it doesn't, then I go off into what's more important to you. And that's one way to show respect. That's one way to show communication and care for people that you're in relationship with. So it can't all be about you. So George is very excited and he really wants us to read that book. So thumbs up for the suggestion, George, okay? I was willing to get into the depth of relationship because that's one of the biggest places that we feel we fail and we make mistakes. And it's one area that we all get very wounded about. It would be awesome if we could all kind of take a personal, oh my God, Christina, did you all call each other and say, this is all of my cousins. They're all related. It's the mama and her daughter and then her nephew and then her now new niece. Myrna, did you call them on? Tell them to get on here with me. Tiffany, hey, I read it all the time. So send each other love, send my family love that's being here of support to me. And I'm so grateful for you guys watching. And Tiffany was talking about my counsel. And I said, I started these lives for fun and for free. I believe it was September of last year. And I did this to thank you for sending love to all my families, my Hernandez, mi familia Hernandez, my Latin Hernandezes. We love you back. And I wanted to not only inspire, but educate people and kind of show you what it might be like to go into a therapist's office. Although quite a few of you have told me, I've never met a therapist like you who talks like you. I think it's because I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just being myself. And I do that whether I'm in the office or out of the office. Okay. Thank you, Vicki. I love you too. I haven't read the book. Me neither, George said. And he also said The 4 Agreements. Yes, that's an awesome book. You should all read that. And that's Don Luis Miguel, no? The 4 Agreements? Tell me if I'm right, if somebody knows. Love to all. And Tiffany. So some thoughts here before we get off. It's terrible. What's terrible? The book? Which one? I don't know, Shada. You lost me. Tell me what's terrible. Okay. So The 4 Agreements? Yeah? No? I like that book. Okay. Let me know. I guess the biggest part of our understanding is that when we tell ourselves we're failing, that's a judgment also that we're having with ourselves. And if we could let that go and consider it a lesson, something that we've learned, something that we've grown and learned from, then it wouldn't carry so much shame inside of us. And oftentimes we feel ashamed because we carry a history of failures and we keep telling ourselves that I really screwed up and I can't fix it and it's never going to change. When we start speaking to ourselves in the language of it's never going to change, we're sentencing ourselves to carry shame for a lifetime. And none of us need to do that. You're committed to helping everyone. So proud of your work. Keep it up. Thanks, Mimi. My cousin sitting in front of you. Laugh out loud. Moment of truth. What, Shada? Oh, sitting in front of me is terrible because it's a moment of truth. Girl, you cracking me up right now. ¿Quién escribió 4 Agreements? Who wrote it? I think it's Don Miguel Luis, you guys. But you can Google it when we get off the live. I might bring it next time and maybe I'll read something from that. You're expected in this life to do one thing. It's to just live it. That's the only expectation that you should have in this one life that we get. And those of you who believe in incarnation, Expect it for every lifetime. Reincarnation, expect it for every lifetime. I like you because you're blunt with humor. Yeah, I'm very blunt. Thank you, Julie. And I put his name. I don't know. You guys put the name. I missed it for the 4 agreements. Thank you. Tiffany put the name above. It is Don Miguel. I got it. I got it going on. Hey, I'm just proud of any moment I can remember anything. As I'm getting older, I'm like, thank God I can remember my own name. I am so glad about that. So I just want you to learn to not measure yourself to other people. I want you to learn to not make those comparisons. I want you to understand that you deserve to heal and not stay stuck in your past. Your past is there as a record, as a memory, as a remembrance of where you've been, but not where you're headed. And when you keep telling yourself things like, you're a failure, I screwed up, I can't get it right, then you're sentencing yourself to not be free, to not be able to learn, and to not be able to grow from your mistakes. We all make them. We have all failed miserably at something or many things. And so what? As long as you wake up every day and do what you're supposed to do, just live, just breathe, just keep moving forward, then that's all right. That failure, that struggle is a part of your story, and you get to tell it. I get to tell it on a daily. I get to talk about things with my clients, with you guys on the live. Like my first marriage. My first marriage was a huge failure in my life. I was the first divorce in my family in the entire history of our family. And I was closely followed by my next cousin, which I appreciate because then I wasn't alone. But by me doing that, it opened the door for someone else to put their failure and their mistake out there too, because no one had ever done it in our family. So, but I learned so much from that. The first time I sat in an office with a woman around my age who was going to get divorced, who was from a Latin family and who was Catholic as well, the light bulb went off. And I said, I may have only lived that relationship and had that failure to get to this moment to sit in front of this woman and to help her. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's the answer that I gave her is go get divorced. Everybody makes their own choice about where they are. But when she came to that decision, I was a woman that could hear her and not judge her because I had had the same failure. Are you getting me? Are you feeling me? Are you hearing me? The struggles and the failures that you had, I don't care how many times you did that. And I'm just using that marriage as an example because it's the first one that comes to my mind. What is your failure? What are you holding yourself accountable to and keeping yourself feeling ashamed by? You need to move past that. We have all screwed up royally. We've disappointed people. We've lied to people that we love. We've ignored situations that we knew we needed to get out of because we were afraid, because we were financially afraid, because we were emotionally afraid. We didn't know how to leave. We didn't know how to get out. We didn't know how to do better, and we stayed and we screwed things up more. Tell me that that ain't true for you. Maybe it's only true for me, and that's all right because I'm going to speak by truth and I can lead by example and show you that. When you've gone through that and you've known that you've screwed up royally and you've hurt people, that's all right. It is part of your story now, and you get to repair. You get to grow, you get to mature, you get to go back and look at it and say, wow, I have come so far because I am no longer a person who lies, who cheats, who steals, who hurts my partner, who hurts my children, who drinks myself into oblivion, who ignores the people around me. I'm no longer that person. And what a beautiful joy to know that you've grown past your mistakes, because that's what accepting your failures as lessons is. That's the topic for tonight. That's what it's about. It's about forgiving yourself for those mistakes, forgiving yourself for that past and saying, I know now where I've been and I've learned so much and I'm willing to share what I've learned with other people, because giving back is the next thing that you do in life. The one thing you always do is live it. The next thing you do is give back. Without purpose, we get lost in this life. And this generation of suffering from depression and anxiety and bipolar and every illness known to man, emotionally and mentally, has a lot to do with lack of purpose, missing our purpose in life. So I want you to really ponder that. And maybe that's the live I need to talk about next time with you guys. I've done it before about living your life with purpose and passion, but I think we need to revisit that. So let me look at a few comments before we get to the end here. I'm so loving that you guys are into this. What about the negatives that are left after you're done being strong? So Tommy, what do you mean by that? So when you're done being the tough one and the strong one and holding it all together and being the force for everybody else and you let your guard down, is that what you mean? Let me know so that I can understand and answer that. But I will tell you that there's a negative to always being the strong one, because then everybody expects that from you and you never get to be vulnerable. And then when you lose your shit and it hits the fan, there's nobody there for you because everyone assumes that you can handle it when truly you've hit a point in life where you can't. That might not be what you're asking, Tommy, but that's what my mind interpreted from that. And that's what I'm sharing. And hopefully that's a helpful point to someone. I think that's romantic, but not realistic. Which part? Myrna, you never stop being strong. You get stronger. Yeah. Well, you get more courageous, you get more brave. Yes, Myrna. I don't think it's about strength. I think it's about courage. And sometimes strong is there's an unwillingness to be vulnerable. And being vulnerable with humans is also a sign of strength because we are meant to cry just like we're meant to feel joy. We are meant to be vulnerable with each other as well. And there's a lot of bravery in showing your vulnerability to people, also in asking for forgiveness and making amends, which makes you very vulnerable. But by doing that, there's tremendous strength in that. That's godly, what we call an act of God. And so when you want to make those comparisons to yourself about how you're showing your strength and courage, think about whatever religious, spiritual beliefs you come back, those leaders, those mentors, those spiritual guides, God, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, whoever you follow, believe in. And if you don't believe in anybody, think about someone who was a role model to you, who showed you vulnerability. When they were hurting, they cried, but they took care of whatever was needed to be taken care of. They were transparent. They showed you how to be transparent. They showed you how to be real. That should be the third thing you're doing in life. Living it, right? I already forgot the second one. And the third one is to be real. So tell me what the second one is. See, that old lady brain's kicking in now because I can't even remember what I said, but it was good. I had those three things and I'm sorry I lost it. Okay. Myrna, George, I'm going to skip because I can't read Spanish that fast right now. Mary Angel or Maria Angel? Maria Angel. Everything Gina's talking about is hitting home for me. It's been hard for me to cope for many things, but this video helps understand everything better. Yay. I think that's romantic, but not realistic. You mean the part about being strong, George? Or Tommy, you lost me. It still hurts. Everything hurts after it happens. Like being left hurts, being in a bad marriage hurts. Absolutely. Leaving your partner because you need to, because it's the best thing for you. Like when I was talking about going through the divorce, that hurt like hell, but it was the right decision for me. And over time, time heals everything. And grieving is healing as well. It's another sign of strength. All right, Onadia. Hi, Gina. Thank you for the great encouragements. Tiffany, PTSD, anxiety, depression is real and I can control it. Two, wish I can get the negative out of me. Okay, Terry, yes, please do revisit that. What was number two, you guys? This is terrible. I'm going to go back on this and I'm going to laugh my booty off. What was it, you guys? You got to tell me. Somebody was paying attention. I was talking so fast. I don't know what I was saying. I know I said to live your life. You only get one of it. Tell me the other two. It's a door prize. So I am so grateful that you're sitting here with me. I am so incredibly grateful that it is helping anybody. Thank you, Tiffany. Giving it. I don't know, giving it away. You guys, if you saw the way these comments came in, how my head works and how far away I am from where you're commenting. Like by the time you comment on something, it's so far back, I can't retrieve it. It's hysterical. Sorry if it's frustrating for you. For me, it's so funny. Giving back. Thank you, Karen. That was my second thing. Yay! Give it back. What was the third one? Now the third one's gone. These are good. Somebody write these down, damn it, and send them to me. Tus charlas me ayudan mucho. Thank you. George is saying my talks are helping. Giving back was number 2. What was number 3? It's a test. I'm going to fail this test. This is my failure live on Facebook. You guys hold me accountable. Live it, give it back. And what was number 3? Purposeful. Live a life with purpose and passion. It was something like that. Forgive yourself. Hey, I like that. It might have been purpose and passion. It might be forgive yourself. Somebody go back. And somebody needs more tips. Maria Angel needs more tips on coping, Myrna, about life and all the stuff we need to go through. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You must have had a hell of a day. Girl, you have no idea what my day is like. Usually I can stay on it and keep going. I'm like, things are just falling out of my brain like this. Yes, purpose and passion. We got it. Those are our top 3 things, right? Live, give back, purpose and passion. Live, give back, purpose and passion. 3 keys to every morning, every day when you open your eyes and you don't know what to do and you're feeling like shit and you think the world's after you, you're in a miserable relationship, your job isn't looking right, you're struggling over finances. All of us have that. All of us have those struggles and or failures too, if you want to call them that. So find that purpose in life. Give back and live your life to the best that you possibly can, and forgive yourself. Absolutely 100% forgive yourself for what you've done or where you've been that's caused you pain and caused you heartache, because none of us need to live in our history. That's not where we're headed. We're headed into the future. We're headed into a new day, and we have to live it from that. You need to have a session for singles over 50. Okay. I like this. That's another topic. Ponle azúcar a la vida. George is saying, put some sugar on it and life. And that's a phrase from a dear Celia Cruz, a very, very dear, world-renowned Cuban singer. Partners over 50, lost my partner to cancer. It was a perfect relationship. It's difficult. Well, God bless your heart, Karen, for you to be walking the planet with a perfect relationship, because girl, that never happens. And to have something that you feel so perfect for you is amazing and soulful. And this is what I know, and I've said this on my lives before, is the person that you've lost, to you, they are not lost. You have lost them, but they have not lost you. And their spirit and their spiritual world and their spiritual gift is to want you to live your life to your very fullest. That person would not, to your fullest, sorry, I'm dry mouth. That person would not want to see you in pain and suffering. That person would want to see you move forward, even to have a new relationship. Because what they want is the love that they gave you and that you shared, that you carry it forward. As painful as it is, and it seems nearly impossible that in the world I would have a second perfect partner. But truth be told, as long as you have that much love to give, there's someone out there for you that is going to want to love you right back as equally as you love them. You have to believe in that. You have to open your heart to it. You have to be willing to seek it out again. But partners that we've lost through death and tragedy like that, which is so painful, they would want that for you. And I'm going to tell you right now that I had a conversation with myself, and I didn't have this, man, I'm going long tonight, you guys. You guys got me on fire, because sometimes by 6:30 or whatever, I can't keep talking, I stop. Now I went really long. Let me say this last thing to you, is that I did not have this conversation face to face with my husband. And he's at a dinner event tonight, so he's not watching, but I hope he'll go back and watch it. Is that when I got cancer, I want you to know, when I was facing that demon, that the thought came to my head. My children were still, to me, young. So 17 and 21. 17 and 21, 17 and 22. I can't do the math. Maybe it was 16 and 21. But when that came to me, the thought came to me very, very clearly that I don't want to see my husband alone. It doesn't matter whether he would ever remarry again or not, if that's a vision that he would have for himself. But in my heart of hearts, when I thought that I would be leaving my family, I equally had the thought that I wanted love for my partner to continue, that he would have that again, and that my children would have that experience of seeing him in that again and knowing that he was okay. So I know it's difficult. Thank you, Myrna. My cousin's saying, I wish I could have been there for you, which makes me cry. So thanks for that. Yes, it was very difficult for me, and took a lot of courage. So what I want to say is authentically is that because I love that person with my whole heart, I would never want that love to stop. And if it stops with me, then I feel robbed of knowing, of having the peace of knowing that my husband could go on with a person loving him. So I'm hoping, Karen, that that helps you in some small way to know what a gift it is for your partner. It's not a betrayal. It's a gift that you give your partner to continue loving and taking all the love that they gave you and passing it on to another human, because by loving each other, we change each other's lives. It's the only thing that changes a life is true love. It's the only thing. And it's okay that it hurts, and it's okay that it's painful, and it's okay that you're sad and that you cry and weep, and remember, honor that person, keep their memory alive, keep them around in many ways symbolically, whether that's through photo or a special jewelry that they gave you or whatever. Keep them alive and keep them with you, but also celebrate the life that you still have to move on. Okay. Thank you, Tiffany, for being present to my sharing this with you. And Karen, I know he would want that, but meeting new singles is difficult. I hate single websites, and I'm starting to get out some, but it's difficult. Absolutely. You guys send some encouragement and love to Karen. And I think it's so brave of you. And I'm super proud of you that you're doing that. And they now have an app for like people our age, because I'm in that age group, and that age group that maybe is a little bit more sensitive. The best way to meet new people, I'm going to change the subject so that way I can get past my tears now and move on, is to throw yourself into something, to do something that, for me, it's the gym. I meet people at the gym all the time. Thank you, George, for saying that I'm a strong woman. The gym is my thing. Go to church, go to a community center, go to the theater, take a dance class. They have couples dance classes where they do ballroom dancing and all this stuff. That's a great way to meet people our age. Join a community service, a volunteer project. Look on the web for, there's these meeting apps where you can just meet people in groups, and it's not about dating. I think it's called Meetup. So Karen, try a different approach. Yes, I've been boating again. It's fun. Do things that you enjoy that are fun for you and meet people that way. Take a sailing class or sailing lesson with a group of people that you learn. It puts you around different people when you're doing physical activities and draws out another aspect of your personality. And of course, exercise elevates your mood and creates joy. Okay, so that's a great thing to do, but it's a great way to meet people. So put the effort into getting what you want. It's never going to come easy, okay? Julie goes fishing. Karen, I think I try to compare. I get it, Karen. And for now, don't make those comparisons. What you can do, and it might sound crazy or rude or offensive to other people, but what I would do is I'd be talking to my partner in his spiritual form and be saying, help me and guide me towards the right person, because I wouldn't want to be with somebody you didn't approve of, but somebody who's not going to take care of me the way that you did. That's one way for you to start having that dialogue, Karen, okay? Go fishing. I love it. When you're single, you will get closer to God in your spiritual life. Enjoy your time alone. All right, Maria Angel, I love that. Pull up your spiritual presence, awakening, connection. Yes, all the time. And when you get stronger as a spiritual being, then you're going to attract and draw the right person for you anyways. Gina, love you. Love you too, Vicky. It's hard to be single, but love is the answer. Love is the answer. Thank you, Mary Wilson. Love you, Gina, and all that you do. So, love you guys. Love that you love fishing, Karen. Never been my thing. I have tried it a few times. I do love the water, though. It's amazing, and it's very healing to be out in the ocean. So thank you guys for being here with me tonight. This was super fun. I miss a lot of you that I haven't seen in a while, and those very few close friends of mine and my cousins for being on here with me. You don't know how much that warms my heart, truly, and how much I needed that today. I actually needed that today to get some love back for the love that I'm giving out. So I'm so grateful for that. So I thank you, not just my cousins, but all of you watching. Okay. And let's keep this going. I am going to take this hopefully to another level. So next, my husband's going to attach a mic, and it's going to be a podcast, so we can all have that. Send your family and friends that you know need to hear stuff like this. Send them on here and go, I have a girl you need to listen to, and you can't tell me any excuse because it's for free. So you go on her live because you need to hear about this stuff. Encourage people to go and like my page. Love you. Good night. Keep up the I love you, Prima. And Tiffany, thankful. I'm glad that you not only needed it, that you stayed for it and that you got what you needed. That warms my heart. Riyadh, hello. How are you? I'm sorry you missed us, Riyadh. We're about to close down. You can go back and watch the live. I'm so happy that you're here. And Karen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for what you're saying. And thank you. Thank you. I'm giving it right back to you. I think you're awesome as well. So go on the lives, Ask Gina. I'm on YouTube, Ask Gina. I'm on Facebook, Ask Gina. Like my page, encourage people to watch. The more that I do that, the more audience grows and the more possibility that I can turn this into what I'm really wanting and envisioning for my life is to do this as a career. Hi, April. I miss spending time with you today. We work together too, and I don't get enough time with her. Vicky, thank you all for saying thank you. I'm coming to the end of the live. When I do, it'll be recorded. I save it. If you missed it, go back and listen to it. Like my page, please, and encourage people to watch and view. I am going to take this to another format. I got called or asked or invited for a new group who's starting a recovery channel called Share TV. I think the name is going to change because somebody else has that name too. But that is coming. And when Share TV comes, it's going to be like Netflix, Hulu, Roku. It's going to be an app that you can get on your phone. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on that channel so that more interaction and more people. And then I'll have a studio where I can have more audience and bring people in. I think you guys would enjoy that. I'm hoping you would enjoy that. Let me know if you would. But the best way to do this is to keep me alive here, so to speak, is to keep bringing people to my page and inviting them to watch these lives and share it on your pages. That would be great. You'd be surprised how many people need love, encouragement, and guidance. Myrna, you predicted this for me. You might not remember that, but I'll never forget it when I was in my 20s, that one day I would do something like this. One day I'm going to talk to you about it because you predicted it, girl. You saw it. You had that vision for me before I had it for myself. So thank you. So as soon as I know when it is and how you guys can watch and where you can watch, I'll put it on there. But I'm so excited that I can open up the doors and have guests and interview my friends and continue to go live with you. So thank you for being a part of that story and that journey. I'd like to be your guest. Oh my God, Myrna, we would have a blast. I'll have to find a way to do. You got to come out to California to make that happen though, girl. And I can't get you on a plane for the last 30 years. So we got to work on that, don't we? Yes, we do. Spread the love. Love you all. And God bless you. Have a great night. Next Tuesday, send me topics. There were a few that came up tonight that I might be able to talk about, passion and purpose. Someone sent me a message wanting me to talk about sexual addiction. Think about that one. That's kind of an interesting topic. I can broadly talk about all addictions and include that. We got into tonight about relationship failures. I've done relationship do's and don'ts. What do you want to hear? Let me know. God bless you. Have a great night, y'all. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great night.